Hello all, Brian here, Spontaneous Creations. What I got in front of you, this is an 8x10 canvas. I still got the plastic on it and it's turned over. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm going to do cells from the beginning. What I got is apple barrel paint. This is limeade. This is the color. And I got Creative Inspirations titanium white. Now this is heavy bodied paint. This is craft paint. I'm going to mix these with Floetrol, and I'm going to put a couple drops of silicone in. I'm going to mix them in a dirty cup. I'm going to put them on an 8x10 canvas, and we're going to see some cells. But I'm going to show you from the beginning. I'm going to show you how I mix them and everything. First off, I'm going to show you the consistency difference. This is the same kind of paint, different color, but that is craft paint. That is heavy bodied paint. Now this isn't the heaviest bodied paint you can buy. This is Saks heavy bodied paint. And it is a little bit thicker than Creative Inspirations, not a lot. Basically you're looking at these two consistencies. There's also tube paint. It's a little bit higher. It's probably in the middle of the two. Let's throw a little bit of that on there. So these are your consistencies of paint, which doesn't matter. Does not matter what consistency of paint you get. Anyway, hopefully you can see that, the difference in those. Floetrol paint in a cup. Now with craft paint and Floetrol, the normal mix is 1:1. So 1 part paint, 1 part Floetrol. 2 ounces of paint, 2 ounces of Floetrol. Oh shoot! Open this first, but a little plastic thing on there. Grab a screwdriver and do that. Cuts that plastic real good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a measuring cup, and I'm going to measure 2 ounces of Floetrol in it. Now I did filter this Floetrol. I filtered it through a little strainer and to make sure there was no boogers in it. Let's see. And that is 2 ounces. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, that's 2 ounces of Floetrol. This glove's already broke. Gloves that are a little bit too small for me, I guess. I'm going to shake that up just a little bit. Make sure there's no paper on the top. There's not. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this Floetrol. I'm going to put it in the bottom of this cup, just to make mixing easier. I'm going to put all of this in there. This whole bottle goes in. You got all of it out that you can get out that way. Take your lid off. Take your Floetrol. Pour your Floetrol into that bottle. Like so. And then shake that up. Yeah, you're shaking air into it, but it's gonna work. Couple sticks. Mix that paint up with the Floetrol that was in there. Just makes it a little smoother. Makes this a little smoother going. You know, I want all that Floetrol in there. So straight Floetrol, no water, nothing like that. Nothing's being left out here. Still a little thick. Look at that. Thick. But we got that other Floetrol that was in here. Alright, and that's pretty empty. I don't know if you can see in there, but that'll work. So 2 ounces paint, 2 ounces of Floetrol. Mix that up. Do your test. Close off the stick nice and even. Usually you want to wipe your stick like that and then stick it in there, stir it a couple times, pull your stick up like that, and then do that with your finger. If that paint doesn't rush together, you're thick enough. You're not too thin. And like everybody says, pile on a pile and it disappears. Now you can stir this for a while and make it smoother. But 2 ounces Floetrol, 2 ounces of craft paint makes the perfect consistency. Okay, nothing's perfect, but it's good enough. Close enough. And then you use the Spot On treadmill silicone. Got 4 ounces of paint. Some people use 1 ounce or 1 drop for every 2 ounces of paint. I do slightly more than that. I have 4 ounces. I'm going to do 3 drops of silicone in this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 drops. Let gravity drip it out, and then mix that in. You know, some people say you just kind of fold it in, and you get bigger cells. It's possible. I kind of mix it in. I don't violently stir it in, but I stir it in like that. Okay. Now we got the heavy bodied. Now I know that I can get 3 to 4 parts Floetrol to 1 part heavy bodied paint. I know this from experience. So we'll take one of these Actually, I need a slightly larger cup. We're going to put, so we're going to use 2 ounces of paint, 8 ounces of, I'm going to do 6 ounces, 3 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint. So I need 6 ounces in here, 2, 4, 6. And pretty much the same method. Well, I got to measure my 2 ounces of this. Oh, I don't have another measuring cup, but I do have one of these cups. This is 2 ounces. Now I haven't used this white in a very long time. This is kind of old, but old paint works. Paint is paint is paint. So that's a lot of this paint. 2 ounces. Whoop. 2 ounces and 6 ounces. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And we're going to put our paint in there. Alright, and we switch that around a bit. Get that to a smoothness, and we put the rest of our Floetrol in. Mix that up. And at first it looks like it's way too thin, but the heavy body paint has to absorb that Floetrol. So it takes maybe a minute or two longer to mix up the heavy body. I don't know, but let's whip that in there. I know this is going to be a long video. I've been talking about mixing paint for 13 minutes. But as you can see, that is the perfect consistency. Pull it up, run your finger through it. It's not running back together real fast. It's not too thin. You got your, so that's paint and Floetrol, paint, Floetrol, and 3 drops of spot on treadmill silicone. That's it. And I got me an 8x10 canvas here. Alright. And somewhere I got something unprepared. I hate being unprepared. Oh, here it is. Got a 5-ounce cup. So I'm going to fill this 5-ounce cup with these two paints, pull it, and we're gonna see some cells. Okay. So I don't need a stick anymore. And many people have many different ways of putting paint in a cup, in a dirty cup. I do it one way, other people do it another way. So we're going to go with the green on the bottom. White. Green. White. Green. White. And then when I do my last layer, I like to do my last layer from up high. Now the reason is this: I want the paint to shoot down into there and do some mixing. So up a little bit high, let it shoot down in. And then I'm going to do the same thing with some white. Well, messier than I usually get it, but that's what I do. And then I don't stir it. Take that cup, it's almost full. That's a 5-ounce cup. There's 4.5 ounces in there. Flip that over. I did not spray anything in the cup to make the paint release. You've seen everything I put in this and how I put it in there. Let's see if we get any cells. First off, I like to poke holes in the bottom of it to get air to it. I use a lighter and a pen, needle, a little piece of metal. Heat that up. And it just helps the paint release some. Get it as hot as you want, it don't matter. 3 or 4 holes in there, watch it jump. Kind of lift it and twist a little bit, and we got some cells. Tap a little bit of paint in the corners. Now 2 different types of paint: craft paint, heavy body paint. It doesn't matter as long as they're mixed to the same consistency. Use more of your medium or less of your medium to get it to the proper consistency. Some people add water. I've gotten away from water. Anyway, you get it to this far, and then you want to take your torch. Now this torch is for air bubbles, basically. And run it over there, get for air bubbles. And then we're tilting. And I'm going to tilt it out. I'm not going to waste no time this time. The more time you take, the better your cells are going to look. Different color mixtures, the better your cells are going to look. I could have did this with black, and it would have been nice too. I could have did it with green and blue. Could have used a little bit more paint. A little bit more in that cup might have helped this part a little bit better. So you notice I didn't use a base coat. Didn't put a base coat down. Didn't put a different consistency paint down because I wanted to create cells. And the little bit more paint that I was talking about, that would just be to help speed up the tilting. You don't have to tilt or add it. You could put less and took a longer time to tilt. Only tilted almost to the edge and then tilted back to the center. And went around and got it all stretched out and then tilted off the edges. But that I just showed you is the easiest way to get the cells. So this isn't all that interesting of a painting, but those are cells. And then I want to hit it with the torch again, see if we can get any more cells come up. And sometimes, just sometimes, a different torch. This is a propane torch. It's a little hotter and heavier. Can cause some different effects also. I don't know, what do you guys think? My little tutorial. It's only 22 minutes long. Hopefully somebody gets something out of it. Now these cells, they're not the greatest. But once you figure out how to get them, then you can try to tame them. But if you're not getting them at all, you have to get to where you can get, or if you want them, you don't have to. Some people make paintings without cells at all. They love them. I've seen paintings without cells at all that I loved, but I really like cells. So hopefully this has been an informational tutorial. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell if you want to see other ones that I post. Thanks for watching. DOG out.